Hi everyone, it's Jill here again. It's a beautiful January night and it's just gotten dark. It's just now 6 o'clock, I think. We'll probably hear the chimes pretty soon here. We had a little bit of snow today and then it melted. And my husband and my son are both working and it is so quiet. It's just so quiet in the house. It's not generally this silent, and I'm really just loving it. It's kind of, I've been sort of taking a bath in the silence, just really letting it wash over me and cleanse me of stress and just really bringing a peace to me. And so I thought I would share a video with you guys and a glass of wine I have here. Little glass of Riesling, just a little ramble to talk to you about some things that I've been thinking about and show you some cards. I've got, it was an Oracle birthday and Christmas this year, and I haven't gotten a chance to show you guys some of the Oracle decks and one tarot deck that I got that you will definitely be familiar with, I think, if you are at all into tarot. But I wanted to just kind of ramble and talk and share an idea or two with you guys and see what you think. So I was online today on Facebook, as I generally am. When I'm online, I usually have Facebook open, and there was a couple of posts that I read that really struck me, and one was about how in this political climate, whether or not you're really involved in it, and I'm probably more involved than I ever thought I was going to be, believe me, but you know, it can really kind of have a negative effect. It can bring out a lot of stress. And so what do we do so that we don't burn out? What's our self-care regime? What do we do on a daily basis? And we were talking about this in a group that I belong to on Facebook, you know, what our self-care is like, and how easy it is to get out of a self-care routine. I'm not sure why we always think that we're last, but it seems that we do. A couple of the things that I really was on it about as far as self-care was that I would get up every morning at 7 o'clock. I would come up here. I'd do a half an hour of yoga. I would meditate for at least 20 minutes. And then I would write in my journals. And by that time, it was usually about 8:30, 8:45, and time to get Buddy the boxer up and take him out for his first walk. But those three things that I did every morning really helped with kind of set my day. So Christmas happened, and I totally got way off of that whole regime, and it's been really hard to get back on. I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's, you know, as we get older we find it more difficult, or whether, you know, younger folks find it more difficult too. I know that when I was in my 20s and 30s and I had small children, into my 40s actually, but you know, having small children, it's really tough to get a self-care practice going. My daughter, who lives in Illinois, has 4 children, and they range in age from 3 to 13. And so she's got now, just has 1 at home now. Everybody else is in school. But you know, that one little guy takes up a lot of time, and so she finds it difficult. I can imagine many moms out there find it hard, and those of us who have worked full time. I mean, in my working life, I got up every morning at 5 o'clock and put clothes on, and I actually took my makeup bag with me, got on a train at 6 o'clock and rode an hour into Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, for my job. And so I would put my makeup on the train. Um, and, those years were really stressful too. So I think about people who are working jobs every day, and thinking that, this whole idea of self-care is just real hard. So anyway, we were talking in this group about how do we get back to it? What do we do? And I was thinking about that, and the answer came to me: you do one thing. You just do one thing. So I started with yoga because yoga is important to me. I'm sitting a lot now, and my back hurts. My back gets tight. My hamstrings are tight. And so getting up in the morning and coming up here and just doing, 20 or 30 minutes of yoga is wonderful. Usually bring up a cup of coffee or a cup of tea with me, and it's just sort of my time to stretch out and, really sort of get energized for the morning. That's my one thing that I've been able to do now for, Christmas was just a little over a month ago. Yesterday, I finally sat down and wrote in my journals. I don't know if any of you who write in journals often go through this. I would love to hear if you do, but this is what happens to me. I write, and I'm pretty good at, I don't ever say to myself, okay, I'm going to write every day, because I just know that that's not going to happen. But I try to write, 3, 4, 5 times a week, every other day maybe. And when that doesn't happen, or when the cycle breaks and I don't write for a few days, then it's like this procrastination starts. Like I want to write, and I think about writing, and I go to write, but then time slips away from me, and then it's another day that goes by, and another day goes by, and another day goes by, and then I think, oh, that whole kind of self-talk about being, oh, I failed, oh, you're never going to get back on track, oh, you've lost too much time, just forget it. All that starts to creep back in again, right? And even about my yoga or about meditation or about anything like that, I start getting all this weird self-talk going on. So gotta stop it. You just gotta stop it. And so I thought yesterday, I was actually sitting at my desk typing some worksheets that I'm going to be using for a Reiki class I'm teaching, and it came into my head, you know what, you should just take a break from this and go write. And so I did. So I listened to that voice that said, do it, just do it, just do it. And I did, and it felt so good to just write and write and write and write. I think I filled, about 5 pages of a composition notebook. And then I did it again today, but it just feels so good to do that. So I guess, do one thing to just get back on track, and then you can kind of, once you get that momentum going, you can kind of pick up another thing and another thing. So that was that. And then the other, I know, one of the, and I forget to say this, and I guess I forget to say it because it's so second nature to me, but one of my other self-care practices is to self-treat with Reiki every day. I did a little video. It was a VR to Kellyanne Maddox in Self-Love September, so it's definitely in the playlist down there. But part of my story is that I was very, very depressed for a very long time. And I do know what happened, but that's for another video. But I was depressed for a long time, and I was on medication, but the medication was meh, was sort of keeping me from not wanting to jump out a window, but I still didn't feel great. So I was searching, you know, and I was searching online for things, and I came across Reiki and chakra balancing. And I thought, wow, you know, maybe I should try this. So there was a little metaphysical shop in my town, the town I lived in. And I called and asked if I could have, you know, come in and have my chakras balanced. And, you know, they said, sure. So, and I remember, you know, at that time, money was really, really tight for us. And I had a lot of guilt surrounding even just doing this, even spending the money to do it, because we just didn't have a lot of money at all. But I saved it over, I don't know, maybe even a month. I saved, just put a little bit away and a little bit away and a little bit away. And then I went and I had my chakras balanced. And as part of that, I had a Reiki session. And that Reiki session for me was so profound, and it flipped a switch that enabled me to like get back on the course of recovery. And pretty much I haven't looked back since then. I knew when that happened that I wanted to continue and take Reiki and teach Reiki and help people with depression, anxiety, PTSD. And so that's kind of what I do now, is my love and read tarot as well. So yeah, so practicing Reiki every day, or every evening. I usually do the Reiki in the evening right before I go to bed. As a matter of fact, sometimes I fall asleep. But it is profoundly relaxing. So if you're out there and you're really super stressed, or you are you've been depressed and you've been depressed for a real long time, or you have PTSD, look up in your area, or reach out to me and I'll help you find a Reiki practitioner in your area. It is definitely worth the try. I wholly recommend it. I do, not as a replacement for medical care, but I do recommend it as an adjunct therapy. So that's that part of what I wanted to ramble about. And I guess I will get to the decks that I got for Christmas. Oh, no. I wanted to talk about my Reiki vase. So hold on. I'm just going to go and get it here. It's right over here on this table behind me. So this is my Reiki vase. Some people have boxes. I have a vase that I work with. It's really full right now too. I don't know if you can see all that. Yeah. I have a peace grid on my crystal grid on the dresser that's behind me with the salt lamp, and I have a candle burning there right now. And in the center of it, I have a smaller crystal, not pyramid, obelisk. And then this is a crystal vase that I have put in the center of it as well. I wonder if you can hear the bells. I'm going to just be silent for a second. Do you hear that? There's something very, very calming about that to me. Every day at noontime, and then at around 6 o'clock, the bells play. It's from the Methodist church across the street over here. They play 2 hymns through, and I don't know, it just feels good. I don't know. Anyway, back to the vase. So this crystal Reiki vase sits on the crystal grid, and inside are all kinds of requests from people. Some, you know, some for healing, some for jobs, some for, you know, relationships, but people who have written to me and asked me to place them in the vase, and or, you know, people that I meet or see here locally do as well. And then what I do every morning is I charge that grid with Reiki, and I charge the crystal grid with Reiki as well. So this little guy gets Reiki 24/7. So if for any reason you would like to be added to this, you certainly can message me down below, you know, where we were supposed to comment and message. Or you can message me on Facebook. You can go on over to my business page, which is Jilly Freeman. You know, facebook.com/Jilly Freeman, and it's JILLIE. You can message me there as well. You know, I will put you in the Reiki vase. Okay, so let's get to the decks. I haven't even gotten to all the decks. I haven't gotten to work with these as much as I would like. I'm getting ready to teach a class here in March, a tarot class. I'm teaching one in March and one in April, and I've just started the research with them, and I'm just like, I haven't had a chance to play, and kind of makes me sad a little bit. So the first one you all will recognize. This is the Keepers of the Light. And I really, really like this deck. I've used this one probably more out of any of them. Each card has a different spirit guide on it. So I use it a lot when this is Ganesh. I use it a lot when I'm doing readings with people. I did use this one exclusively in the New Year's reading because I did a message from Spirit with people. So when I do my readings for clients, I will many times come to this and grab a message from Spirit for people. And I have found this very, very useful and comforting, and just fun to play with and work with. So that one is that. Now this next one was one that I had asked for, and this was one that my youngest daughter got for me for my birthday. No, that's not true. This is one that my son and his boyfriend got for me for, I think, Christmas. And, oh, I want to show it to you. And it is, oh, the beautiful Mother Mary Oracle. This one I have not gotten to work with, gosh, hardly at all, and I feel bad, and I really, really want to take some time and look at it and get into it more, but oh my goodness, look at these. Just, I love the colors. Oh, good, you can see that better. I love the colors, and the descriptions are just beautiful. Oh, this deck is like, I don't know, to me, it's sort of like a hug in a box. It's just so warm and welcoming and nurturing, just like the Virgin Mary. So, although I haven't worked with this, this was a deck that has long been on my wish list, and I will be getting out and working with more. Now this next one, I've worked with a little bit more, not too much. This was one that my youngest daughter got me for my birthday, and this is the Kuan Oracle. And I will put links to these in the information section. This deck is absolutely beautiful. The cards are gorgeous. They're very shiny. So very, very shiny. But again, just really, really beautiful. And the guidebook is really, it's just marvelous. Well written, great information. One comment about the guidebook is that the print is way too small. It's probably a 6 or an 8 point font, and not good for, you know, us middle-aged ladies who are reading tarot, or for the visually impaired who are reading tarot. You know, a 10 point, I mean, if it were a 10 point or an 11 point, I could put some glasses on and read it. I have to get a magnifying glass out for this. But I still love the deck. This deck, my dear, dear friend and sister, Mary, gave to me. It's the Rumi Oracle. We used this when we did our New Year's ritual. We picked a card from here, and we did there on each card, I believe there. Oh, and here is the card. It's pretty dark in this room, so I can't really see what it is. But there's a ritual that you can do with each card. Or, you know, there's something to do. They give you an activity to do with each card, and so we did it, and it was really interesting. So I'll show you a couple of these. This is more, what's the word I want to use, people? I know you're all saying it. You're all saying the word that I want to use. Abstract. That's it. It's a little bit more abstract. But I really, really, God, I love this deck too. So that was that one. And then the last one I bought for myself. I was pretty much a Rider-Waite-Smith snob for the first maybe 10 years that I read cards. I read exclusively Rider-Waite-Smith. Did not go off the beaten path at all. And then one day, whilst I was online, I saw the Jurcraft Tarot. And I think it was on somebody's YouTube video. I had started watching other tarot readers' videos, and I'm sure that it was from there that I saw the Jurcraft Tarot, and I fell in love. And that deck is still so close to my heart. I read pretty much exclusively from that deck. I don't want to say exclusively, because I mean, I do read from other decks, but that is the deck that I really love to read from the most, I think, right now. And the other deck that I saw was the Marielle. So those were the two decks that I bought first, right after, you know, when I decided, okay, I'm going to start collecting some decks here. So I got the Marielle and I got the Jurcraft. The Marielle, as most of you will know too, is a, God, it's beautifully illustrated. It is a deep, deep deck. And I almost think of it as being more shadow worky. So maybe I'll have to do a whole video on that deck. But yeah, it's more shadow worky, but just an absolutely stunningly gorgeous artwork. Oh my God, it's just beautiful. And then I started, you know, picking up some other decks along the way. I have a, you know, Visconti Storza deck. Oh, I mean, I just have a bunch of them, but and I should probably do that video too that everybody's done with your deck collection. It's not too exciting. I think I'm only up to about 35 decks, so I don't know. Maybe I should do it now because it won't be that many. But one of the decks that I wanted to get was the Gilded Tarot by, this is Ciro Marchetti, and so I bought it. I bought the kit. I bought it from Amazon, and I gotta tell you, folks, a little disappointed. Love the book. You know, the book is nice. It's a nice size. It's got a lot of information. The print is not horribly small, but these cards, I don't know, like, and I don't know if anybody else has bought this, but the cards are they're smaller than your average tarot card, and to me it looks fuzzy. Like it just looks like it's it wasn't a good run for these cards. So what I'm gonna do is I have a bid in on eBay for I think it's a 1992 version of the Gilded Tarot, and I also have a bid in on the St. Petersburg Tarot. So maybe we'll have more the next time I do a video. I want to tell you guys too that I'm working on, my website is all done, and it's brandy new, and I'd love for you to go visit it. It's jilliefreeman.com. It's JILLIE Freeman.com, and I will link that below as well. The store is up. You can purchase. You can schedule appointments with me. But I wanted to start doing something more on YouTube. Now, everybody, it just seems like everybody and his brother are doing, you know, weekly readings, monthly readings, daily readings, and I want to do something different. So I'm thinking of doing a Wineful Wednesday. I don't know, Wine and Tarot Wednesday. I'm thinking of doing it the first Wednesday of every month. And what you will do is you'll go on over to my Facebook page, which I'll link again below, and you will message me your question. And then I will come on over here to YouTube and maybe even do YouTube Live and do a one-card reading for each question. So what do you think about that? Does that sound appealing to you? Do you think you would like that? Do you think I should do 2 cards? What do you think? Give me your answers down here. I'll be interested to hear. I guess that's really all that I have for right now. It's been really nice kind of getting back in touch with all of you. Thank you so much for subscribing. Tell your friends to subscribe. It's just been a nice January night, and I will see you guys all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.